The Giro D'Italia was back underway in its native Italy. A transfer across the Adriatic, each and every one of the 182 riders remaining back and hoping under the Italian sunshine to take for some, including Olav Koy, what would be a second Giro D'Italia stage win in as many years. 2 stage wins already for Mars Pedersen. He was wearing pink as the riders got underway in beautiful Alberobello in Puglia. They'd go south after an initial north jut. Poligono a Mare, stunning place. They'd pass through Ostuni as well. It will be a real picturesque day and one that should be on paper for the sprinters. But getting into Lecce for the first time since 2003, there'll be a city centre circuit. It's always been a sprint in Lecce. How would stage 4 look this time? 189 kilometres in total as the Giro started properly. The stage started properly and very quickly, and it was a disappointing look behind for the lone man who'd go out in the breakaway. Young Fran Munoz, a university student turned professional cycling from Polti. He'd be out there on his own, the Spaniard ploughing a lone furrow. He'd get as many as 5 minutes. For his efforts, he'd take the early King of the Mountains climb. When he got to Poligono a Mare, he'd also take points in the intermediate sprints competition. And behind, well, the first shootout. Not too serious, but an opening up of the legs won by Jensen Plowright, ahead of Olav Koy and Maglia Rosa, who of course was Mars Pedersen. And there was Rosa everywhere. Unfortunately, there was also a few things to watch that those clad in pink didn't want to watch. The Maglia Rosa caught up behind a crash with 125 kilometres to go that meant the end of Nick Zukowski's Grand Tour debut. A broken collarbone for the Q36.5 rider from Canada, the third rider to have to drop out in 4 stages at the Giro. The normally Instagrammable town of Ostuni was venue for the Red Bull kilometre. Up front it was taken by Fran Munoz. Well, who else? He was still there in the lone breakaway with 3.5 minutes. But that gap would be reduced. Movistar and Einer Rubio launch hostilities behind. Primož Roglic followed. And so did the UAE team. Isaac Del Toro ahead. Juan Ayuso unable to get in and around Roglic. Del Toro taking 4 bonus seconds. Roglic taking 2. A good day for both. Isaac Del Toro moving up in the general classification to 5th. Roglic extending his lead from 7 to 9 seconds over Mars Pedersen. Wout van Aert was on bottle running duty, and then he was on duty looking after Olav Koy. He was the man hoping to do the lead out today for the rider who won the stage in Naples last year. 56 kilometres remained when Fran Munoz was caught. There'd be one more intermediate sprint before the final run into Lecce. That sprint well taken on by Lidl. First Vatsek. And then Pedersen, but he yet again could not get around Olav Koy. This time, from Alpecin to Koenig, it will be Groves having a go, opening up those legs. 3rd place amongst those. A close one. Smiling for now. They'd soon be sprinting against each other. But GC teams were worried about the final circuit, and they should have been worried because there was an issue on the first time round. Søren Kragh going down, not looking good. Munoz, who'd been in the break, caught again and hitting the deck as well. Kragh would finish the race, but would do so with one hand on the bars, holding his shoulder. His teammate would get back into the peloton. More issues, more narrow moments, plenty of pinch points. This is going to be a nervous 2 laps of Lecce. Very nervous for some of the Italian hopes. Giulio Ciccone is not from far down south here. The man from Abruzzo, just a bit further north, was caught out and had to get back on. He was helped back on by a teammate. 2 teammates, in fact. Carlos Verona and Jacopo Mosca. A turner there as well for Ineos Garofoli, having saved his own day for Soudal. Pedersen then back in the bunch. And it'd soon be time for the riders to take on the circuit for a second and final time. A chance to take a breath. The bell would then ring. It'd soon be chaos again, however. On this particular stage, the safety zone had been extended to 5 kilometres. That means that any incidents or accidents for anybody in the general classification, they get the same time inside that zone. Pedersen returned to the front just before that zone, in fact. But of course, he was thinking of winning the stage. Into the final 1.5 kilometres, and things were about to get tricky again. Pedersen down in about 20th position. Going into the final turn, it was Picnic Postenel and Bram Welten doing the lead out. On his wheel, Casper van Uden on his Grand Tour debut. The first sprint he was able ever to take part in, and he launched. Turner tried to come around. Pedersen was there in the pink jersey as well, getting close. Cantor slightly deviating from his wheel. There was Zeeland as well. Bennett coming through. Groves, but nobody could get past Casper van Uden. The young Dutchman taking a much-needed win for Picnic Postenel. Budged down into the relegation zone at the weekend with results elsewhere for their big rivals XTS Astana. But this was a massive moment. The time trial helmet doing the job as well. Van Uden on his sprinting debut at a Grand Tour, taking a win and making sure that Picnic will once again be dining at the top table. A much-needed victory for the Dutch team and a name-making one for their young Dutch rider. Van Uden, Kooi, Zeeland, the top three, the first time ever in the Giro D'Italia's history that Dutch riders would all finish 1, 2, 3. Pedersen fourth, and of course down in fifth place Cantor. He, however, would later be relegated. Stage winner on the day, Casper van Uden for Picnic Postenel. Mads Pedersen keeping the pink jersey. Primož Roglic in second place. Another day in pink for Mads Pedersen. No hat-trick of stage wins this time. Just outside the top three on stage 4. But stage 5 looks like it could suit him that little bit more. Uphill towards the end to Matera. Riders leaving Puglia and heading up into one of the most beautiful places on the planet. How many times will we say that at this Giro? Bernalda will be the town where we have at the top of the hill the Red Bull kilometre. Keep your eyes on more bonus seconds. And at the top of another hill, Matera, could be another sprint stage. Could be for those attackers as well. 151 kilometres. You can watch it all on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus in UK and Ireland. If you're watching in the USA, join us on Max.